This week, we talk about some Fantastic Four and Avengers news that came from Marvel Studios. We talk about that extended look at James Gunn's Superman, which was extremely awesome. We talk about a new Star Wars series coming our way, and a whole bunch of trailers that were dropped this week. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's the emergency alert. This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we're back to talk about all the fun things happening out there in the pop culture universe. Lots of cool shows, trailers, all kinds of stuff going on. But before we jump into that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
This week I've just honestly been nerding out about not a lot.
Yeah.
We went to the Royals game on Sunday and I had a really good time with my dad, my kid, and that's kind of what I'm nerding out about.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Well, for me, you guys know this. I've talked about it a jillion times. Favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. Well, months and months and months ago, my wife and I scored a couple of tickets to see Back to the Future, the musical. They're doing their North America tour, and this past weekend is when they hit Kansas City. And man, I know Taylor doesn't love musicals, but I'm a huge fan of musicals. I was in musicals. Like, I love that stuff. They managed to take my favorite movie of all time and turn it into what now I might consider my favorite musical of all time. It was awesome. And I had no idea how they were going to make things look on a stage production, but oh my gosh, the DeLorean was so freaking cool. And it was very convincing that it was doing all these things. And of course, they had this giant technological looking background that they made graphics appear in the background. And I don't know, it was so cool. And like the final scene, not to spoil it if anyone's ever going to go see it, but the way they made the DeLorean fly with, practical hydraulic effects plus the technology in the background, man, it was just so cool. It was awesome. The cast and crew did an amazing job, and I'm just still living off the high that I got from watching that thing. It was so cool.
I saw the musicals coming to town. I was like, I bet Billy and Emily go. And then literally we were at the game and then Lauren was like, hey, they went to the musical. He
Yeah.
said they were going to. I was like, told you.
Yep. It was crazy. I didn't know how. Oh, this is maybe a dumb thought. I didn't know how insanely popular this thing is. And if I didn't buy tickets, like I'm talking, I went to meet the cast of Back to the Future in November. I had to buy tickets to this musical months before that. And I might not have got to get in. It was crazy. But yeah, it was, oh man, so good. And, hopefully it comes in sort of like a rotation because I'd love to watch it again. And the seats were kind of expensive because it's still fairly new in the United States. And I would love it to just kind of, like I said, go on rotation and maybe I can get some better seats for a cheaper price and see it a little bit closer. But yeah, all in all, 11 out of 10 stars. I'm a little biased, but it was so good. Well, hey, let's go ahead and jump over into some news. As usual, we'll start with Marvel. As you guys know, by the time we're recording this, there's still 2 episodes of Daredevil left. And I think what we're going to do is, because we're at a couple different places in it, we're just going to wait till the whole series is over. And then we're going to talk about it piece by piece with each episode and go through it with you guys. But overall, I still got to say, this isn't really a spoiler, but man, I'm enjoying that show. It is so good.
Yeah, I mean, nothing but good things so far here yet either.
Yeah. And I'm loving all the little, other things from the MCU they're pulling in and spoiler-ish, but I guess if you've seen the images on Disney Plus when you literally just click the show, I think we're going to see some more Punisher on this week's new episode. Yeah, I'm just loving the show and I can't wait to see where they take it.
Yeah.
Now, tied into that show a little bit, recently Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin, was in an interview, and the interview didn't really have anything to do with Marvel specifically, but the interviewer asked him, so are we gonna see Kingpin pop up in any other projects? And he said, I would love to show up in a Spider-Man movie or a different movie, something like that, but the Kingpin character and a few other characters are tied up in these weird legal rights situations and Marvel only has the rights to put him in a show, he said. He said, so unfortunately, as of right now, you're only going to see Kingpin pop up in these different series. And that's kind of a bummer. I would love to see him show up, even if just like a scene or two in a Spider-Man movie or something. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like it's interesting because it's definitely not the cartoon rights because those are made into movies unless that's what he's talking about is like with Sony.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a Sony character.
I was gonna say it's probably some kind of a Sony thing, and they've given Disney some TV access, but not movies, and it's so dumb. Sony just needs to sell it to Disney.
Yeah, outright. It's so obnoxious. I mean, there might be timetables on certain things too,
Yeah,
because some of those contracts have so many years of clause on them for 5 years or for 10 years. So it might honestly just be a timing thing.
yeah. And speaking of Daredevil and characters in that show, John Bernthal, who we know plays the Punisher, and he's showed up already. He's gonna show up again. Well, we know that there's one of those Disney special presentations coming, and he was just in an interview as well, and they were asking him about the character and how much he loves the character, and he's basically said this character is near and dear to my heart. I love playing him. He said, in fact, this Marvel special presentation that's coming up, he's one of the co-writers of this project. So John Bernthal himself is kind of co-writing this next Punisher movie that we're going to be seeing. So yeah, I guess the man really loves the character.
It's cool. I mean, it seems to just play himself, but yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're getting real close to the Thunderbolts coming out. We're about a month away, not even a month left. But the early screenings have happened already, and a lot of critics and screeners are saying that this is probably the best Marvel thing they've seen in ages. And one of the quotes that I wrote down here says, "The Thunderbolts is among Marvel's best movies ever made." So not only is it like the best one in a long time, they're claiming it's one of the best ever made. So if that's true, that makes me even more excited to see it.
I'm gonna hold my breath.
Yeah.
I think there's a good movie there. I just don't see it as being one of the best
Yeah.
movies.
And maybe it's just, all these practically bad guys, if not bad guys, maybe just watching their redemption and kind of, coming up and bettering things. Like, I don't know. I feel like that kind of stuff just
Yeah,
makes you
no,
feel good. So maybe
it
maybe
might.
that's what they're feeling, when they see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I'm going to go into it. I'm sure I'm going to leave happy and being like, yeah, it's another Marvel movie I've seen, and like that's awesome. I'm just every time I hear really happy things right up front, I'm like, oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of that, this weekend is my oldest son's birthday weekend, and what he wanted was to take a couple friends and cousins and his brother and go watch the Minecraft movie. And I've been reading the reviews of that movie, trying to avoid spoilers, but I feel like everyone is singing that movie's praises.
Yeah, I think it just because it went full crazy.
Yeah,
It's from what I understand, it's just so bonkers that it's hard not to enjoy it.
I had some high school kids at work this week talking about it, and I'm like, nope, stop talking. I'm seeing it on Saturday. I don't want to hear it yet. I don't want to hear it.
It's
But
funny.
a lot of kids seem to be really enjoying it, and adults too. And it sounds like people that I know that are seeing it are agreeing with the hype, and I'm excited to see it with my kid this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it just because of the hype. I'm not a Minecraft fan at all. In fact, I'm pretty open about the fact that for some reason it just doesn't click with me.
Yeah,
But I want to see the movie.
yeah.
There's something about it that I'm like, I want to see this. It looks so stupid.
I've actually never played it. My kids play it a lot actually, and I've watched them play it, but I've personally never played it. But same as you, the movie just looks pretty bonkers, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw Jack Black in something, and 99% of the time, I'm probably gonna like it anyway.
Yeah, is that our generation that feels that way about him, or is that like a still a thing, just to keep everyone still like him, or is
Yeah,
he?
I see. As far as I know, he seems pretty universally loved. So,
Yeah, it's hard to keep track.
oh yeah. Let's see. Another thing that's being reported out there is with all these characters that are going to be combining into the last few Avengers movies that are coming out. Avengers Doomsday had their big list of announcements of cast that's going to be in it. There were a few notably absent names. One of them was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Well, something came out earlier this week that it sounds like Wolverine is not going to be in that movie, but he is going to be a pretty pivotal character in Avengers Secret Wars. So I guess, yeah, we'll see how he gets used, or we'll see if that's
Well,
just a bunch of, baloney.
did you see the thing that got posted today by Marvel Entertainment?
Oh, I don't know. What was it?
It's just him staring at a camera in his like Deadpool outfit, like breathing
Oh,
heavily for like 8 hours.
I have not seen that. Interesting. Yeah, I just pulled that up. That is weird. Oh, and the thing I see says there's an Easter egg about halfway through. I wonder what that is. Okay, that's a project I'm gonna have to look up later.
Yeah, so bonus surprise news today, everyone.
Let's see. one final Marvel thing here. We know that Fantastic Four is coming. Let's see, we're in April, so we're about 3 months away from Fantastic Four First Steps. Well, they played a more full-length trailer at CinemaCon last week, and only people who went to that event got to see it. It's not something they threw online afterwards. But someone did write out the synopsis of this trailer, and I have that here real quick. I figured I'd read it for you guys. It says the footage opens with our title family being brought onto a talk show, and it's established that this group has been around for a while, and they are in an alternate universe of the MCU. They're beloved by their society. Sue and Reed arrive late to dinner with Johnny and Ben afterwards, but to make up for it, Sue gives them the announcement that she's pregnant. Johnny congratulates them, saying Sue's gonna be a great mom, and looks at Reed and says, well, you got some work to do. And things seem to be going well in this dimension until their version of the Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner, comes to Earth and warns the group that their world has been marked for imminent destruction. And then the next thing you see is the shadow of Galactus looming over New York. And then the Silver Surfer tells them they're in a race against time to save Earth from total destruction. A civilian looks at Reed and says, are we going to be okay? And he says, I don't know. And then the next thing we see is him consumed by research, burdened by heroic responsibilities. Sue and Reed make a promise for the future of their child, and we're shown Reed giving a speech and telling the public that the Fantastic Four is going to protect them. And the trailer ends with a shot of the Silver Surfer riding on the iconic surfboard away from an explosion and a ton of burning flames. And that's the trailer they got at CinemaCon.
Well, that sounds like the plot of the movie.
Yeah. Assuming this is true, and I don't have a reason to believe otherwise, we're going to get to see Nathan Richards probably be born, so that's kind of cool.
That's super cool. Also, we're going right into Galactus.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
And I guess because this is an established universe, and maybe what if he does succeed in destroying the universe, but those guys make it over to our universe, our main MCU universe, or something like that?
I mean, I would assume that's what they're setting up, unless it's a Doctor Doom thing after the whole Galactus thing.
Oh yeah, that's true too. You know,
Like, what if I had to write it out? In the first movie, this big blowout with Galactus. Maybe you'd also meld in the storyline where Doctor Doom gets Silver Surfer's powers
oh yeah.
when Galactus gets defeated, and through that's how he starts his descent or ascent into godhood.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense, especially if this MCU version of Secret Wars and Battle World and all that is with him behind it. That would make a quick, easy way to give him that ability, you know?
Yeah, and then once you get those, then you can introduce the Beyonder and the Watcher and all of that.
Yeah.
Which I'm still kind of confused on how they're going to do the whole Beyonder thing at all.
Right.
Century, we're getting Century, we know that. But have we been introduced to like a Molecule Man yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so there are certain characters we still need for this Secret Wars thing to happen, unless the power cosmic is from Galactus, and then that's how he gets it.
Yeah. And I can see the MCU doing a little bit of a less detailed version, the way you kind of just described, without having to introduce all these other characters and still making it make sense.
Yeah, because not saying that people won't understand the Molecule Man, because I think the concept itself isn't too hard to get.
Yeah.
But him traveling through times, killing other versions of himself, and then, you know what I mean? It was very...
Yeah.
it starts to get really muddy. I'm just wondering if they do it that way, or they just do it with, like, have another cosmic being. Just be like, oh yeah, he's that powerful. Now his powers are in Doctor Doom, and then Doctor Doom's vision is different than Galactus's. Instead of destroying planets, he's creating one big planet. Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
I can see how they do it that way.
Yeah.
But also, you could go through the whole Beyonder thing, which wouldn't be the worst idea, I think. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Doomsday seems to be coming, and no sign of a Beyonder character, at least that we know, right?
Right. Not that we've seen.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yep. Well, over with DC, not a ton of news, but this past week, did you have a chance to see that extended clip from the new Superman movie?
Yep, I did.
Oh man, you know how I feel about Superman. That thing
A
got
lot
me
of
so pumped.
a lot of robots. I was like, oh, we're gonna do a lot of robots this
Yep.
movie.
That looked straight out of All-Star Superman, those robots. It was awesome.
Yeah, they're Alan Tudyk, right?
Right, the one that spoke, at least the male
Yeah.
sounding one, was definitely Alan Tudyk, and you know, because why not?
Yeah.
And
Um,
yeah,
Lauren and I both chuckled. I was like, "It's Alan Tudyk," and she goes, "Of course it is."
yep. But yeah, that was a cool scene, and it was cool to laugh a little bit with Crypto just being a dog, and Clark was
Yeah,
really hurt and needed pulled to the fortress, and to watch the robots, scan him and then amplify the sun to heal him, and then it goes back into the regular trailer, and I
yeah.
was already pumped for this movie, but that had me so pumped.
Yeah, can I be honest? It kind of disappointed me because I kind of wanted more Superman flying around punching stuff, but I guess they're going to save it for the movie, which is fine. We
Yeah,
did get better. We did get like longer periods in that trailer, though, of certain people.
yeah,
Like we saw Lex Luthor real close up
yep.
with like a gun in his hand.
Hmm.
Is that right? Some kind of device in his hand that looked like a weapon.
So
Saw the whole guy Gardner, him actually coming into the building, not just him with the arm part. It was like
right
him flying into the building and the arm part together.
next to Superman himself, seeing Nathan Fillion play that character is probably what I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, yeah. I hope
It's yeah.
people get that character. I hope
Oh, I
they don't.
know.
I hope he gets accepted by like most people because if I've had to endure him in comics for this long and grown to love him, I feel like everyone should too.
Right. Casual viewers really only know Hal Jordan and maybe Jon Stewart because of the cartoon from back in the day, but there's so many Green Lanterns out there, especially on Earth.
And they all have very distinct personalities.
Oh yeah, especially Guy Gardner.
Yeah,
Let's see. Oh, Peacemaker season 2 finally dropped a teaser trailer. It was pretty funny.
yeah, I saw that.
And I didn't realize it's been 3 years. Season 1 was practically 3 years ago, and that's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then this isn't really necessarily DC related, but I'm throwing it in here because of a major character he played. But this past week we lost Val Kilmer, the actor. He passed away. And I don't know about you guys, but my go to thought with Val Kilmer is Batman. I know that's not my favorite Batman, but that's probably the first thing that me as a kid saw him in. And of course, I've seen him in a zillion other things. But when I think of Val Kilmer, I instantly think Batman Forever. So that's why I threw him in here in the DC news. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, before better Batman movies were made, that was my favorite Batman movie.
Right?
So yeah, Val Kilmer. I also like have a soft spot for The Saint. Have you ever seen that
Oh
movie?
yeah, that is a good movie.
But other than that, yeah, they'll be missed.
Yep.
Wasn't a huge shock because I did know about his health issues that he
Yeah.
had been having, but always sad.
I also think of him in what is that movie? Willow, that movie Willow with Warwick Davis.
Yeah, I never loved that movie.
As a little kid, I liked it, and my family and I we recently watched that Willow series on Disney Plus. But yeah, you gotta really like that kind of thing to really like it. Let's see. Over with Star Wars. Again, I'm gonna keep repeating it. We're so close. Andor season 2 comes out on the 22nd. Super close. But they also released this past week a trailer for a new series called Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. And it's going to be similar to Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith, where, they followed Ahsoka and other characters, and then the Sith followed a few characters. Well, this one, Tales of the Underworld, it follows Asajj Ventress after her kind of fall from where she was. And then it also follows Cad Bane. So we get to see a few kind of rough and tumble characters and get to see what they've been up to, filling in some blanks that we don't know about them. So I think it's going to be cool.
It was neat.
Let's see, elsewhere in the pop culture universe, we got a lot of trailers this week. They released a teaser trailer for the new Tron Ares movie. Did you have a chance to see that one?
I saw so I thought it was fake. So I
Uh-huh.
saw it on April 1st. A teaser for it came out on April 1st, something.
Yeah.
It was either, and I don't know what, I never saw the full trailer because I didn't think it was real. Jared Leto's in it. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw a thing for it, but I was like, that's not real. And I just kept going. But then, like, yesterday, I saw something for it again, and I didn't watch it, but I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't fake.
Yep. Let's see, we also got a new trailer for the new Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I saw that.
And then we got a trailer for season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. That looks pretty awesome. I'm super pumped for that to come out. It's going to release this summer, so we're getting close to it.
I really want to watch that show. I don't have Paramount, but that's like one that I avoid stuff for because every trailer I've seen before it or anything, I've been like, that looks so good.
Yeah, a lot of people like to diss Star Trek Discovery, but Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Strange New Worlds might be up in my top favorite Star Trek of all time. So it's really good.
I've been slowly watching through Next Gen, like I mean, like trudgingly slow,
Yeah,
but it's been fun. I always forget some of the episodes. The one I just watched was the one that's like, can you prove if Data is sentient as like a living being?
yeah,
Or they have to send him back to the academy. And so it's like a bottle episode. It takes place in literally 2 rooms, the whole entire thing.
yeah.
And it's not the most entertaining episode, but towards the end, it really gets you.
Oh, definitely. All the Data episodes are my favorite ones. The one you just mentioned, plus any of the ones with his brother Lore, those are my favorite episodes.
I'm a Q guy.
Oh yeah, Q's awesome too.
I love the Q episodes, and then I love the Jean-Luc Borg episodes.
Oh yeah. Oh man, have you not watched Picard yet? I can't remember.
No, I haven't because I don't have Paramount.
Oh
So
yeah, you said that.
it's one of those things where I'm like, I want to watch it, but after I finish Generation, so it's fresh in my mind. Because I'm going to watch Generation and then I'm going to watch the movies.
Yes, I was gonna say when you're done with this watch through, that'll be a great thing to go watch. Season two is very Q heavy, so you'll really like it.
That's awesome. I first started watching all of the original movies. This
Yeah,
is how I first started watching. So I've watched the original movies, and now and I'm watching through Next Gen, and then I'll watch the Next Gen movies. Somebody was like watching Voyager, which I've never watched Voyager all the way through.
I love Voyager.
A couple of my friends are like, it's the best one. And I go, I don't know.
I love Voyager so much. One summer after I got married, we just watched all of it. Again, I hadn't watched it since I was a little bit younger, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. They recently announced a new Predator movie called Predator Badlands, but it's going to have a bit of a twist compared to normal Predator movies. The Predator isn't the villain of the movie. There's a worse villain. So the Predator and some humans kind of have to team up against this worse Predator, worse villain. Yeah.
Let me guess. Is it Alien?
I have no idea. It wasn't, they didn't say.
Sorry.
That would be funny.
I was like, they've never done this before. And I was like, wait a minute, have you seen those movies?
Right.
Exactly what they've done in those movies. That's awesome, though. I saw it's animated as well, which I'm really pumped for, an animated Predator movie.
Right. We've already talked a little bit about the Minecraft movie, but in its opening weekend, it made over $163 million domestic, which is more than Barbie did, and that's very surprising to me.
I don't know. Minecraft's super popular. You ever see those? You go into Target, they have like Minecraft everything.
No, you're right.
Minecraft beds, sheets. We were looking at stuff for the kid, just like what's out there.
Hmm.
And we got him some bluey ones, and we got him some that are just like space or whatever, generic.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that was like one of the options. I was like, there are kids who are like 3 getting Minecraft stuff already. Like, what in the world?
Yep.
I asked Lauren, I go, do you get this? She goes, I don't get it. And I go, I really don't either. The only thing I like is the bumblebee. For some reason, I really like the way the bumblebee looks.
Yeah, those little critters are cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. The fact that how square it is. I don't know. I like it. Anyway,
I feel like we've talked about this in the past, and we talked about some rumors of who might be coming to one of the next live action Disney movies. But it sounds like we're pretty soon going to be getting a Tangled movie that's live action. And it makes sense to me because she is a Disney alumnus, if you will. But it sounds like Sabrina Carpenter might be playing Rapunzel in this new movie.
oh yeah, we totally talked about this, but that's spot on.
Yeah, oh yeah. And plus, I mean, she was in Girl Meets World. She's been in Disney stuff before. She is a singer. It makes perfect sense.
Is she still associated with Disney though?
I don't think so much just because, she's an adult now doing adult things with her adult concerts and whatever that are
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
for little kids. It's funny, there's been a
yeah.
lot of controversy about that particular topic. Parents getting mad, like, I went to this Sabrina Carpenter show and it was not family friendly. And they're like, well, she's an adult now. This is not Disney.
I think there's a weird disconnect that people have with Disney celebrities, especially Disney female celebrities.
Yeah.
That transition for some reason is so hard for the public to accept, and it ruins so many people's lives. I'm sorry to laugh. It's just like it's the idea of it's just crazy to me that like we don't let these people grow up because we have this picture
Yeah.
in our mind of who they are, and it crystallizes. It's
Yep.
like, I mean, Ariana Grande has probably been the most successful, I feel like,
Yeah.
transition where she hasn't had too much of a bumpiness, but she also had like what 2 boyfriends die or something crazy, and
Something crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel bad for all those kids. I really do. I don't feel bad for them financially, but I feel
Right?
I feel bad for them on the level of the amount of emotional bullcrap I'm sure they go through is just like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's nuts, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, there's an animated John Wick prequel in the works. Did you see about that?
No, that sounds awesome though.
Oh yeah, think
What's
of all
it
the.
called?
Yeah, it didn't say. It just said there's an animated John Wick prequel in the works where we see some of the story building up to him becoming who we know in these movies. And like you said, I think that sounds super awesome.
What if they did? Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they gave it like an Animatrix thing, or like a Batman Gotham Knight or Halo Legends, where it's like, or even the Star Wars ones that
Yeah.
we just talked about, if they gave him like little vignettes of different missions and things he did with different animators.
Yes, that would be cool. And it would
Like
be
I can,
it would not be
I
the
can.
first time that that happened to a Keanu Reeves character too.
Oh, it's duh, yeah. I just think it's like for how like stylistic the John Wick series is. Like,
Hmm.
can you imagine you have different like illustrators doing that kind of thing?
Yep.
Like, it would look so cool,
Agreed.
and it would be on brand, I think.
Yep. Let's see. Even though the first live action How to Train Your Dragon is not out yet, they've already greenlit part two to happen. So I guess
Big,
they got some faith in it.
big shock. It's a successful franchise. It's become more successful.
Yep.
I've never actually seen one of those movies.
Oh man, they're actually
I
really
know,
good,
I know. It's just one of those blank spaces.
right?
It's like I didn't have kids at the time. I was older, didn't have any like friends with kids or anything like that, like that I hung out with at the time. So I think it just missed me. It's weird, but it just like
Well,
missed
next
me.
time Miles asks to watch something, you guys should totally watch How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh no, it's on the list. I have like a list of like different like movies and things that we're gonna watch together that I haven't watched yet. We watched that new Turtles movie that came out not too long ago.
That was super
Um,
fun.
yeah, we just watched the first Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I've seen it 100 times, but we watched like the extended one with all the weird stuff they took out, put back in.
Oh, nice.
Have you watched that?
I don't know that I have.
It's on the Blu-ray,
Okay.
and you can watch it, and it's like they put in some of it's finished, some of it's not. So it's like it's all thrown in together. Sometimes it'll go to a white screen with just like sketchings for 30 seconds or whatever, but it's really cool. It fits with the movie because the movie animation shifts constantly.
Yeah.
It's really neat. It adds 20 minutes.
Yeah, I do gotta watch it now. It sounds really cool. Well, the last thing on the list here today is kind of a controversial thing that a lot of people seem pretty upset about, but we're getting this Netflix Narnia series that's going to be coming out, and they just hired Meryl Streep to be Aslan.
What?
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how to feel about that yet. Because have you read those books or seen
Many times.
yeah, and to me, I don't care if you change the race of a character. I don't care if you change the gender of a character, the age of a character. Like, I don't care. If the story's good, I don't care. I don't know why, in my mind, though, Aslan, there's a big part of the plot where the bad guys tie him up and shave his mane off and all kinds of stuff. And female lions don't even have manes. I don't know. And maybe, you know what? Maybe she's just being the voice. And again, this doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it, and it doesn't mean it won't be good. It just seems like an odd choice to me.
I don't know whether it's my like previous mindset on the world,
Uh huh.
and that's when I read them. So I don't want to say that. Be like, no, it's bad because I don't want to be that guy at
Right.
all. But yeah, it's a weird one.
That is
It's a
yeah.
weird choice to.
You know me. I'm all about loving stuff and letting the writers do their thing and changing things, and none of that makes me think, this is gonna suck. And again, I'm not saying this is gonna suck, but that just seems like an odd choice to me. But yeah,
It's the same way I felt about when they changed the ancient one
yeah,
to a white woman,
yeah.
and
I
it
did.
worked.
I wasn't hung up on her being a woman, but it did seem like an odd choice to make her white.
Yes, and it's always been kind of one of those things that I've been like, you're not supposed to
Right.
like.
Yeah. Like
um,
all the kids in the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Or, when you have an opportunity to change a character like Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you don't.
Meryl Streep is gonna be Aslan, and we'll see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
But hey, that's all the news for this week. I know in the next few weeks we're going to be wrapping things up. I know after next week, Daredevil's going to be over, and a few new shows are going to be starting. Doctor Who's going to start up soon. I think this weekend, Last of Us Season 2 starts up. So yeah, come back next week and we're going to be talking about all kinds of new stuff. But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.